This is. I don't want to start the episode with knowing me, I'm going to leave this in though. This is the 21st of January, 2021 or 2020.1. I don't know. That's not funny, right? Is that anything? That's nothing. Oh,
was that a joke?
Yeah, that was. You know what I said earlier about doing so many jokes and occasionally one of them hits. Anyway, I'm Commander Jantrax, and this is that didn't hit. I'm Commander Jantrax. This is Loose Screws. They can't be all gold. This is a rambling intro to the podcast, but it's the Loose Screws podcast. At it again, your old boys. This is not going well. Okay. It's gonna be fine. It's okay.
It's okay if you want to restart. I won't judge you.
No, it's better that people know. I think. Anyway. Yeah, this is Loose Screws. There's things going on. We've mostly been out on an expedition, and so most of us are out of the bubble. But there is still some bubble news, and there is still some, shall we say, discourse to be discussed. Tonight, a smaller crew. I'm joined by Commander Dubs. Hello.
Howdy.
Devo Looter is here from PlayStation. We still have consoles.
Just barely.
I think y'all lost another one last week as he built a PC.
I know, that's true. Commander Chig is also here. Hello.
I will go with greetings and salutations because my daughter said I'm lame and Nurgle's cool because he says that and all I say is hi. So
what movie was it that what Christian Slater character said that in a movie? Was it Heathers?
Christian Slater said it.
Heathers?
I want to say it was Heathers. Sorry, I didn't mean to sideline the whole damn thing. He says greetings and salutations, and I do believe Heathers.
Christian Slater's been in a few good movies. That's not one of them. True Romance is his best.
All right, stop the show.
True Romance is his best movie. Hands
Heathers
down.
is awesome.
Chig Chat this week. Favorite Christian Slater movies? Go.
Heathers.
Young Guns 2.
Wow, stop.
What other Christian Slater movies are there?
I think
nothing. True
he's
Romance.
in Gleaming the Cube, I think.
You're
the skateboard movie.
You're just making things up at this point.
No, Gleaming the Cube, the skateboard movie.
I watched that one for sure.
All right.
You guys just made me choke.
Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous. So, everybody, is anybody not on the expedition? I know for a fact that all of you are, right?
I'm currently on the last leg of it. I'm 157 jumps out of comma.
You're on your way back already?
I am. I mean, I don't know if you want to jump into experiences and of the expedition and stuff already, but
absolutely. What have you found?
I didn't find.
What did you like?
I'll tell you. I obviously play this game and I exist mostly in the bubble, and every now and then I get burnout and I go, oh, okay, I need to do something different, something I only do every now and then. And the expedition came up and it's like, oh, perfect, because I always found getting away from the bubble like therapeutic. It's quiet in general. I'm often by myself. And I left my fleet carrier back in Ross 310 and just hard jumped the entire thing and made it to sort of the goal, which is Evelyn's Light. And I had a really, I don't mean to get mushy, but like a really philosophical experience. I got to the data signal. I don't know what you would call it. And I read what came up. I listened to the audio log that came along with it. And I must have sat there for an hour and just soaked it in. You know, I have a daughter myself, so it hits hard. And it was a nice thing that Drew Wagar and Frontier did. And as I understand, I don't know that they're going to be doing anything else like that because they'll probably be slogged down with a bunch of them. But it was a nice experience going all the way out there, sitting and reading and hearing it. And I haven't even deleted the audio log. I'm flying back. It's quiet. It's nice.
Boy,
I really brought down the vibe of the show already.
That's lovely to hear. That's exactly what I wanted to be happening from all this.
I'll say one other thing. I don't know how private all the backstory and all this stuff goes. And I'm not even sure I fully understand the full scope of the entire thing. I don't know Jello Wiggler personally. I've never talked to him. I don't know anything about him. I mildly understand what he supposedly had to go through. But this game, it's not really a game to me. It's more like a science fiction simulator, and everyone who plays it's less like a gaming community and more like a fraternity. So if somebody's having a tough time, I'll do something even in spirit as a sort of show of support. And I had a great experience being part of it, even though I did it pretty much solo.
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly what all this is for.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that you said all that. Actually, that's unprompted and undiscussed.
Right.
And I'm even more so kind of looking forward to getting out there on the day as well. So that's really neat. What do I transition to?
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me throw something in here first. Today's kind of a cool day. It happens to be my birthday, but I'm bringing this up because somebody pointed this out to me. It's the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century, and in about a minute, it's going to be the 21st hour, 21st minute, and 21st second of that day. So just kind of interesting. I don't know if I should make a wish or what the fuck I should do. I did buy a lottery ticket today, though.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday. I had forgotten about that because
but that's
I am
a whole
an
lot
asshole.
of 21s.
Yeah. That's really something. So how have you been handling the expedition, Chig? I understand mostly riding?
Well, what I've been doing is jumping the carrier, from waypoint to waypoint. I'm trying to knock out one waypoint a day. I try to get there before the evening, then I leave my carrier parked till the next morning. And usually what I do is as I'm jumping the carrier, at the last jump, I'll get off and, then carrier's doing its countdown. Then I start jumping towards the waypoint in my ship to get, dozen
you
or
run
so
the last
systems.
500.
Exactly. And then when I'm parked at the system, then I start exploring, all around where the carrier's parked. Like, I'm on a black hole hunting expedition here. I've discovered 2 new ones here in the last, just today. I don't know why. I like finding black holes. So I think that they should be far more dangerous. They should, erase your account if you get sucked into one, but they don't. So I just go and try to get my name on them.
Erase your account.
Yeah. You fly into a black hole.
What if
there
you
are
fly?
A lot of black holes around here.
What at the very least, if you get sucked into a black hole, it should take away like 3,000 arcs.
Should take away your birthday.
Jesus.
I think they should be far harsher. I mean, the fact you can basically fly into Sagittarius A and nothing happens is kind of weird to me. But
you should at
that
the
is
very
sort of
least
the most dangerous one, right?
Yeah, it's the super massive.
It's the hottest.
Yeah.
It's the one where you get the most like residual heat and stuff. It was
heat,
a little more hairy than the other ones.
Yeah. Frontier, get some of your guys together to start laying out the art for Singularity.
Yeah, what he said. Other than that, all I've been doing is a whole shitload of CQC too. I'm now over almost to 8,100 kills. My kill to death is over 2-1 now, and I'm sitting on a 22 game winning streak. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Set jump, CQC, CQC, CQC,
Kind of.
CQC, CQC. Yeah.
Because it's fun. Volt has been playing too, and Volt pointed out that our squadron is up to like 16th in CQC this season, which I think
that's higher than we've been.
Play it. Higher than we've been in a while, yeah. But I've been putting in a lot of games lately, so
pretty much just you and a smattering of help.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Volt has been playing a little bit more, but I don't know anybody else who plays at all in the squadron.
I get a game every now and then, but not enough to change the numbers.
I only hop in when I don't have something else going on and you guys happen to be there.
Oh, I see how it is. You don't care about.
I think it's tons of fun. It's not tearing me away from the game. But it's like if that, I come on, my typical play style when there isn't an expedition going on is like sometimes there's some faction stuff to be worked on, but then other times it's like what's happening right now, and that's going to be if there's a new player and they're like, well, I have never done a Hazres. Well, let's go do that. You know what I mean? Let's wing up
for sure.
We're gonna go do CQC. Awesome, let's do it. And actually the last time we played was the Christmas stream for me, because we decided that was the next thing to do, and ended up getting some actual capture the flag games going, which is wild. So, so Dubs, how's the expedition been going on your side?
It's been going pretty well. Made a couple discoveries. Haven't died yet, so that's good. I did happen to completely rob NL Hate of one of his first discoveries, a system that happened to have two notable stellar phenomena in it. So I got to my carrier and turned all my data in without thinking about it, so it's mine now. Thanks.
Maybe that's why he's not on the show.
I flew into the system. I noticed it was undiscovered, and I was like, oh, this is badass. Started doing the FSS, saw the notable discoveries, and I looked over at ED Discovery. I was like, oh, wait a second, hold up. This is showing as populated. Someone's been here. So I opened up EDSM to be like, all right, who's the jackass that found this system before me? Like, oh shit, I know that guy.
It's mine now.
Yeah.
So some good things are happening out here. For me, anyways.
Not so much for Hate, you're saying? All right.
Yeah. Are you running the expedition with your carrier, or are you kind of...
Yeah. So my carrier is staying exactly on schedule with what is inside the EDSM expedition registry. Like, if you go to the
with
actual
Jello's
waypoint,
schedule.
with Jello's schedule. I myself am jumping all over the place within 4,000 light year bubbles around the fleet carrier, and then when it's time to move to the next system, I go back to the fleet carrier, make the jumps, hop in my crate, mine to refill my tritium depot, and then take back off for another stint of expeditioning. And I sell my cartographics every time I get back to the carrier, because I could not care less about the money profit that you get from cartographic data.
Yeah, or the subtracted percentage thereof.
Yeah, which I mean, since I'm the owner of the fleet carrier, and half that 25% loss goes to the carrier, I'm only really losing 12.5%. Which, I mean, I could be losing 80% of the value. I really don't care. Having my name on the plan is what I want. If I want money, I'm going to go mine. That's or giving goids.
I don't know. Right now, just exploring is paying my upkeep on my carrier and then some.
Yeah.
So I like getting the cartographic data. My account has gone up rather than down.
Okay. How is the mining going? How long is it taking you to keep up with the rate of consumption?
So I can fill the cargo hold of the crate, which is 128, in about 30 minutes full of tritium using a tritium hotspot. So up until now, like all the expeditions have been between 3 and 4 jumps. All the waypoints, 3 to 4 jumps to get the carrier to them. And it takes me anywhere from 1 to 2 hours to refill my tritium depot by myself. And if someone else happens to be there to help, well, that cuts it down in half. So, I mean, 2 hours to refill my tritium depot, which means I'm not dipping into my reserves. It's worth it. I mean, mining tritium in a fleet carrier for an expedition is definitely doable, I've found. And if you have more people on board to help you, then it gets even better.
Yeah, I haven't done any mining yet.
Are you doing subsurface exclusively or what?
Yes. Well, I do subsurface exclusively unless I see like a high percentage. Like I don't know if it's over 25%, I'll laser mine it, whatever.
So you have a laser.
And yeah, my crate's outfitted for all three. It's got 2 lasers, 1 subsurface, and it's got the core mining components in it. And with a single subsurface, size 2 subsurface missile rack, I usually run out of subsurface missiles right about the time that either I fill the cargo hold or I am only like 5 to 10 shy of filling the cargo hold, and that's good enough for me. I'm not going to send and waste my mats for that. So it
Plus
just
your
depends
carrier
on how
is in system probably.
yeah, it's right there hovering over the rings, so it's nothing to go back. So it's I don't know, the setup I have works well with getting my tritium back.
I just discovered a new system. Main star is a black hole. Secondary star is a neutron star.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little discovery.
The Chig black
but
hole.
are there terraformables?
No
That's the real
terraformables.
No Range Earth-like world. No
3
Raxla.
3 class Y dwarfs.
Yikes!
And they all have a bunch of. This is just a fucked up system.
Just fly right into one of those dwarfs.
Is that what we're allowed to call them these days, or little stars?
Little
stars.
Jeez.
Vertically challenged stars.
No.
Oh wait, sorry.
What have you done?
My bad. Abort.
You're doing it wrong.
Abort.
For my part, I'm ahead of the schedule of the waypoints in the expedition. I've just sort of like whatever night I've been playing, and I happen to actually be able to play several nights this week. And I was streaming each time as well, which has been fun, kind of hanging out and getting people. It's a little bit more going on than just what's in voice, because some people are, who knows where they are doing who knows what, not playing the game, but they have the stream on and they're chatting about things as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I did not bring my carrier. I brought this Cobra Mark III, which has a very good exploration build, but it is still a Cobra Mark III, and doing
What's the range on that thing?
46 laden. I have 4 tons of cargo space, which I have 3 limpets and 1 orchid with me. So it's fully laden right now, and it goes 46 light years, which is quite fine. Handles very well in Super Cruise, obviously, because it's a small ship, and has all the appointments. I've got AMFU and repair limpets and SRV.
You didn't go with
shields.
The research limpets?
I did not bring research limpets. Some are for sale on some of the carriers that are out on the expedition with us, so I'm sure I could get one should I choose to want one. But I did not bring that, just kind of the basics, and 645 DPS, because we roll with guns out here, don't we? Also, I have kind of a bet with Lark Shadow. We're going to do a little fight when we get to Colonia with our exploration ships. So I was definitely going to bring as much heat as I possibly could. So it turns out that is 645 DPS. I probably could bring more, but I wanted one of them to be Drag Seeker. So
what guns do you have on there?
Drag Seekers and frag cannons, man. I brought the double engineered Seeker, which I put the Drag Experimental on. So it's the lightweight high cap Seeker, and then everything else is overcharged frags, corrosive.
I'm sorry, Lark.
Yeah,
nice knowing you.
And he ended up bringing an adder, which I think is fun. He did put some gimbaled lasers on it, which I won't be able to evade even with the 600 meters a second boost that I have on my exploration ship. But it's kind of like, if I can get in close and hit him, he's probably done for.
What depends. What do we have in the way of shields?
My shield is only like, what is the strength of my shield? I can tell you right now. I'm sitting in it. My shield has only 160 megajoules. So and it only has 10% thermal resistance, so it's not great. And with don't have chaff, so with gimbaled lasers, I'm gonna have to get in there quick. I'm gonna have to charge his laser.
Yeah,
and get in there and hit him and hope. We'll see.
I've never owned an adder. What's the gun setup? How many hard points does he have?
It has a 2 and it has a size 2 and 2 size 1s. It's a quick little number, but it definitely does not have the armor and shields that mine has. And I do not think it's going to hold up to a full volley. If I hit him with one of those drags and manage to catch him on a broadside and then hit him with the frags, I think it's going to be over. But we'll see.
If I'm a betting man, I'd put my money on you.
Well, anyway, so since I've been out here, I've found a few interesting things. Not that many, but I did put my name on a neutron star with a terraformable high metal world and nothing else in the system. And there's several other random things. There's just a boatload of water worlds out on this route. We've just been finding so many. That seems to be the big popular thing, at least what I've seen so far. And then there's some fun things coming in from the screenshots. And there's a super glowy green gas giant at one of the waypoints. The one that I just got to most recently is this system that is comprised entirely of 5 Type O stars. 2 of them are way off to the side, but there are 2 that are essentially contact binaries. The smaller of which is a Type O star that is 7.5 solar radius in size, next to its buddy, the parent star, which is 151 solar radius.
Jesus.
So it's a truly insane system. While I was there, actually, one of the down-to-earth astronomy carriers was there, and I parked and took a picture. But it looks insane because the star that is 7.5 times the size of Sol looks like a tiny speck next to the main star of this thing, and they are right next to each other. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, there's some exciting sights to be seen and having fun. So,
See in Spanish.
I don't speak Russian.
So I guess it would be time for some sorry, I was trying to get my Discord keybinds to work. I guess it would be time for some squad update. Is that a fact?
I was told you're doing this. I said, how did I get roped into this?
Aren't you the leader of the squad on the what is that, the console? Is that how we pronounce that word?
On PlayStation, technically, yes, I'm the leader of the squad, but I'm in no way a BGS master. That is why Nurgle and Hate collaborate together.
Okay, well, I'll try to do it.
I can read Nurgle's latest notes.
Okay,
I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to say.
Okay. Wait. I got to do this for hold on.
Sounder?
Let me do this for
yes.
Yeah.
Incoming priority message.
Squadron briefing.
I was working really hard to make sure it was actually going to come through and work correctly this time.
I heard
and then
it.
you were going to roll right through it.
We actually heard the whole thing. That was good. I like it.
If you're going to play Nurgle, then I'll be in this play. I'll be NL Hate.
Okay, so that means you need to say something just completely bizarre that I don't understand.
That's right.
In that case, I'm going to be Dubs.
No, Dubs has to be Ty. We got it.
Okay, and go.
Oh God. Greetings and salutations.
There it is.
All right, so the squadron update's pretty easy. We've got so many of us out in the black that Nurgle and Hate are having anxiety attacks and stuff like that. And we actually fell behind in a war and had to ask for help. And a bunch of people jumped in, like Naboo. Who's Naboo with? I forget the squad that he's with. But he hopped in and won some CZs for us.
Yeah, it's one of our neighbors.
One of our good neighbors. I wish, God, say it and somebody tell me who that is at some point. But he helped out. Darth Husker helped out. Severoon Runner, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He ran some. Just, it was good. So we ended up actually winning the war, and we would have been actually kicked out of that system if we hadn't. So that was good to get some people in there, winning some of these CZs. I'm sure that, our PlayStation crew, has put up some points for us and are keeping things from going completely, utterly insane. But it looks like, Ross is probably going to expand again because that's all that thing does. It's like a horny little rabbit shooting its goo everywhere. But we need to keep Ross 310 under control. It just wants to spread its seed everywhere. So we need to back that down. And I'm sure this will be the last time I ever do Squadron Update. So that's all I know. What do you got, Hayden?
We're at war with the Helsina Knights and HIP 4907. Back to you.
Wait, is that true?
That's what it says in the notes.
When did that start?
I don't know. I thought they were friends of ours.
I thought they were
friends
out loud. Too. This might be a scheduled war with a planned victor.
Yeah, it's Nurgle. Nurgle's not on tonight because he's been suffering from some migraines here the last week or so. He has had a bout of them, so I think his squadron notes might be a little light because he's not sure. Like, we also have a war with the workers of Lambda Andromeda, so I don't know if we're supposed to win.
But that's not a player faction.
Yeah, I know. But
if it's an NPC, I'm sure we're supposed to win. Anyway, yeah, and of course NL Hate is also not here because he doesn't have Nurgle to protect him.
I think he had a pizza with 2 pounds of cheese on it, and he's in the bathroom. So
he's exploding at both ends.
Yeah, that at least
yikes
from the picture I saw. But all right, no, I didn't see a picture of him in the bathroom. Things are getting weird. Get me off the squadron stuff.
So you're saying I shouldn't turn in my cartographical data or data? How do you say it? To Ross 310.
I say we go with data because we've got a member named Data. So
I would not turn on to Ross 310 because we've got all we can do to slow down the expansion of Ross on a good day. And if everybody returns from this and turns in their data, it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, go find another system that we could use some influence in and do that.
Yeah. Go to returning from the expedition. Go to Inara and go to the standing orders because he does have like cell data here kind of stuff typically, and I'm sure we'll get that up to date. So there has been some Galnet news, which I literally have not been following, but there was a CG last week. Which we went over to support the new Marlinist systems requesting emergency food and stuff. There's more. I really haven't paid any attention to this. Has anybody paid attention to this? I think the answer is no, right? In this room?
Technically, no. I mean, I've read it, but I found it uninteresting, not to be mean. I just looked at it and went, okay, whatever. I'm far away.
Yeah, uncertainty hits takeover of Lakon Spaceways. Okay. Yeah, like I'm just kind of waiting for a shoe to drop, I guess. Galactic Summit proposal from Sirius Corporation. So this is what happened on the 18th. They're proposing a summit to discuss stuff. And I mean,
I guess that's what a summit is, huh?
I think
it's
just
stuff, nothing important.
Just stuff and things. Anyway,
it's something for the community to do. At least
it's something for the community to do. And then so the Prime Minister Mahan is campaigning for re-election, and then on to yesterday, the 20th, Jasmina Halsey returns to the Federation. More political intrigue. And that brings us to today, January 21st, a new community goal starts. You can basically support... Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry. So, Sirius and Utopia compete to host the Galactic Summit. So I guess we're... The CG and I did watch a bit of their stream today where they discussed it, or I probably wouldn't know any of this. But apparently we're delivering engineering materials to one of two stations to support either Sirius Corporation or Utopia.
Wait a minute.
Earning the right to host this, earning the right to host this summit. Yes, you are going to give them. They are all of the ones that they want are grade 1 or 2 data mats. So not that big a deal, I guess. But there is blowback. There does not appear to be a reward besides the simple financial and reputation rewards for participating in a CG. So there's not going to be like a module or even a sticker or something, at least that we know of at this time. And yeah, they're asking you to give away engineering mats. They are the lowest grade engineering mats and very easy to come by at any of the like encoded signal sources you find, or if you went to Jameson's Cobra or something.
I'll make Frontier.
You can give them engineering mats as the CG?
I'll make Frontier.
You need to give them engineering mats.
All right, I've got 2 words for that. Fuck that.
I got a proposition for Frontier. I'll give you all of my grade 1 engineering materials for 150 and 100 of grade 4 and 5. That's my trade. Kiss my ass.
Yeah. Well, so we're not there anyway.
But I mean, seriously, the grind that everybody bitches about the most is the engineering mat grind, and they've got a CG telling us we got to give up our engineering mats.
I mean,
even though
it's
they're easy.
It's grade
Does
1
that
mat.
read a little tone deaf to you?
Yeah. You can just
little.
get unlimited amounts at Jameson's crash site. It's not like you're really losing anything. They're basically just letting us choose who wins the summit.
Well, yeah, but think about this. You say
agree.
that, and when I say it's grade 1, the idea of the CG kind of makes me think it might be for new players, shows them how to go out and get engineering mats kind of thing. But then you come back with, you just go to Jameson's crash site and collect a whole bunch. Well, new players don't do that, so that's out the window.
Or even better, let's not minimize the commitment that and the nightmare that is Jameson's crash site, where you spin in a circle 800 times.
Yeah. Log off, log back on, scan the 4 things. Log off, log back on. Jesus.
Yeah.
I have one word for you, my friends, and that is macros.
What you
Make
just
a
say?
macro. Make a macro.
Make
for
a
that
macro.
shit and go do something
Yeah.
else. Let your SRV relog on its own. If you're gonna make me grind like a dumbass, I'm gonna do something stupid and not play it the way you wanted me to.
Yeah.
Do you think you would be doing this, Stubbs, if you were in the bubble? There's no module.
No, probably not.
I wouldn't be anywhere.
I couldn't care less who hosts the Galactic Summit because I like both of their power play modules. So
Well, here's a good question: is what module would you have to get at the very minimum for you to go, okay, I'll take part in this stupid thing?
Well, if Lee Young Roy offered me some AX pack hounds, I'd consider it.
Ooh.
Or
I love that.
Expedition over.
I'm going back
Sorry, guys.
right now.
I can take a week off and still make the expedition. We're fine.
Yeah, honestly.
I'll just keep sending the carrier.
Let's see. Whatever. I'm not going to go into what if on rewards because I don't mind at all that there is stuff that isn't really pulling on my heartstrings that I'm out here.
Right.
The last one I almost felt like the last one I definitely would have participated in if I was there, but it definitely wasn't enough to pull me off of this. For what that's worth.
Yeah.
So
the rewards are weird though. Like, what was the one where we got more the size 5 FSD with lightweight and mass manager? Is that the one?
No, it was long range, increased range, and
faster charge.
Fast boot, that's right. So we ended up with a little bit less mass, which gave like my crate got an extra 4 or 5 light years. which was an interesting one.
Yeah.
But like the people who would want that the most are probably the people who are the farthest out in the black and had no chance of ever getting it. It just seems weird to me what the choices that they make with stuff at times.
I missed that one because I wish I would have had that.
Yeah, I mean, out on this expedition, I definitely would have went back to the bubble just to get that, so I can have that crazy.
Yeah, I
jump
might have
rate.
too. That was the one in the coal sack, right? I think so.
Oh man, I don't remember yesterday, let alone weeks and weeks ago.
Well, that's all right. So my takeaway is this. I'm glad there's still a lot of story. There is so much story that I am not even keeping up with it. And that's a welcome change from, last year. And it does feel like a lived-in galaxy when there is so much news that I can't even know it all.
I do like the fact Jay Barron, Blame the Bard, whatever he wants to be called, in our Discord, he's always given a good breakdown of what's happening with that. And he's got good tinfoil hat stuff going on in our lore discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Crash gets involved in the discussion and stuff. So, I mean, we've got some guys that are following it, trying to stay on top of it. And that's where I kind of latch on. And that's how I'm keeping up with it, is reading what they say about it. So I'm really lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so lazy.
Amazingly.
Yeah, so join the Discord, folks.
Yes. Amen.
People do all the work for you.
Yes.
No, that's true. No, he does. He is kind of like he's taken over the lore channel and in a big way. Yeah. It's been cool.
He's definitely our resident lore guy at the moment, and I do appreciate that somebody's keeping track of it and throw it. They talk about it. I'm like, I didn't even think that way about it at all. I had no freaking idea. So I'm glad that somebody's feeding me my propaganda.
Okay, so moving on then, in some other news, there was the couple of things that popped out. I'm gonna skip around because I think I know how the rest of the show is gonna go. So I'm skipping around in the notes a little bit, but there has been a thread posted on the forum as promised last Friday, where you can enter a drawing to have your name on an Elite Dangerous Odyssey settlement. So go there. It's very easy to enter. You literally just type in the thing that you would like them to name something.
Or don't, and up my chances.
What do you mean by that?
I entered
Less people
my
in
last
there,
name in there, and I'd like to win it. So I hope less people do it. So don't do.
Oh, don't. Yes, the masses should not. So it's on the forums. I put a link in the show notes, and near the same time on the same day, there was the settlement questions answered page, which will have a little bit of stuff to kind of we can shoot through quickly. So this is part of the promised Friday questions drops. These are, I guess, what we're switching to now instead of the AMAs that they used to be doing. We're basically getting developers and people to answer some of the questions that they kept having to say, we don't know to. So this time, and these are coming out on Friday, so every time we get to it here on Loose Screws, it's going to be almost a week old. And then this is going to come out like early Friday morning, and they're going to drop another one that same day with next week. So that's fine. So this is all about settlements. I'll zip through quickly because some of you have read this and some of you have not.
I'm not sure I have.
Yeah. If I go to an outpost and wipe everyone out, they all respawn eventually, or is that town a ghost town? The answer is outposts will send for reinforcements that will become progressively tougher. However, these are not infinite. It would be possible to kill everyone and then loot the outpost. However, the consequences thereafter would be severe. No word on what the consequences are, if that means like you're personally hunted or if it means that there's strong like BGS effects or what. But
they should take that one step further, and if you clear everybody out, then you can bring some slaves and have them have them live there.
They also say later, well, I guess whatever, I'll just get to it.
Keep going.
Some of these are sort of related. Yeah. Okay, so next question is about The people you encounter inside the stations and the outposts are related to the factions. And they're saying, how do we get the missions from other factions who aren't, the NPCs have all changed their uniforms to be for the dominant faction. How do we get other missions? She says, they say there will also be mission boards on terminals that can support for on-foot missions from factions in the system, and mission givers in ports and outposts can also be from a variety of factions. So we will see NPCs from a variety of factions, not just the controlling faction, and there are mission boards. Do NPCs spawn only at the settlement outposts? They basically say NPCs will not spawn randomly in the wilderness. However, if there's any kind of POI or something like that, you may encounter NPCs. What permanent states can the new settlement outposts have? The states are active, abandoned, war, damaged, online, online damaged, offline, offline damaged, and conflict zone. Cool. Okay, so once again, we're circling back to the first question. I don't know why they put them in this order.
I want to mention one thing in that though, that one that I'm seeing not mentioned there would be something like infested or something that would say, people think that there might be some on foot Thargoid combat, and the fact that there's not one of these that seems to scream, hey, that could be infested with Thargoids, kind of is telling to me.
Yeah, and along that line of thinking, might I suggest that I don't believe anything we're being told qualifies as a promise that that's the only thing. Right?
Because they've had Ask Me Anythings going for, how long now, and they have never once been an actual Ask Me Anything, because, they have been. You could ask, but they weren't going to answer is what they were, and that's not what an AMA is supposed to be, but all right.
I'd like to see a state of abduction where you come down and there's a Thargoid ship just sucking up people.
Sucking up people.
Probing people.
Yeah. I definitely don't think this disconfirms Thargoid on foot, but it is not one of the ones they're waving at us. And that's, they're not, if Thargoids are going to be on foot, they have decided not to mention that yet. So obviously they're going to answer that question while leaving this out, which, it's whatever. This is how much we know. There is other stuff we don't know. So it continues. If I eliminate everyone in a settlement, do they respawn? Settlements won't stay empty forever. They will repopulate over time. So if you leave them alone, I guess. Engineers,
first?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say,
do
first
interrupt
of all,
me.
Who are these maniacs who want to kill every woman and child and man in these settlements?
Oh, me and Dubs have plans.
Oh, okay.
You don't worry.
Goddamn maniacs.
Lovely. The original cast of engineers will remain, and they will be joined by a new group, all of whom you will be able to meet in person for the first time.
I'm hoping that those people don't invent new materials.
I'm going to shoot Entian Dorn in the face.
Okay, to that point, it has already been confirmed that in the social hub area, you will not be able to use your weapons.
God damn it.
That has been disconfirmed. Are there destructible items? This is my favorite. Yes, you will be able to take advantage of certain environmental elements for a tactical advantage. If you want to stand next to the big red barrels, feel free to.
Are there going to be actual big red barrels like every video game?
Yeah, they've already been seen in some of the footage.
Oh, all right. Well, fair enough.
I think those blow up. Anyway.
Yeah, like every video game ever. That's fine.
It's a trope.
At least there will be no confusion with what to do to it.
So the question was asked, can we hack weapon emplacements to turn them on defenders or switch off station power? Yes, you will be able to bring down settlement defenses, allowing others to enter the combat zones in vehicles. Powering down a settlement will also allow you to access restricted areas. So these are, again, going back to the settlement defenses are supposed to be a lot more powerful and severe so that you can't just carpet bomb them from the sky. You need to go in on foot and disable the power to these things before you could successfully bring in vehicles.
Have they ever talked about
seems
what
legit.
kind of weapons they're supposed to be? Are they giant rail guns or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. I assume probably something new or just more powerful compared to what. I mean, we have SAMs and lasers on surface settlements now, but they're not particularly formidable. So I'm assuming they'll be much upgraded and perhaps there'll be new kinds. Yeah. Within Odyssey, thinking of open air combat zones, what's to stop me from using an orca equipped with mines to carpet bomb a settlement? Following on the same question, settlement defenses are quite potent. Without shutting them off first, you may find yourself suddenly without an orca. They seem pretty sure. And what's going to be able to stop an SLF with shard cannons? They said outside of settlement defenses, which we have already stated are not to be taken lightly, some handheld weapons can be effective. Okay. So that's what we got.
Interesting.
All righty.
Yeah.
On the subject of being without an orca, I'm already doing that. Thank you.
Me too. Actually, no, I think I own an A-rated orca. I bought it and was going to do something with it, then never did anything with it. So yeah, I own a few ships like that.
I never bought a Saud Kruger ship.
The ding noise is nice when you boost. I like my orca.
The ding.
It fights Thargoids.
I always felt like the captain of a cruise ship whenever I was behind the joystick of one. Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly what you are.
I didn't think.
Do you ever just get the urge to put in system chat that you are the top 1% of liners when you're flying your Saud Kruger ship?
I always thought it did that by itself.
It's a standard feature.
That's right.
It comes with a co-pilot that just types crap like that into chat.
We could only be so
sorry,
lucky.
we're experiencing a delay or whatever the hell. Yes, so that's all well and good, isn't it? So I think we're about to get to. It's been a little minute since we've been recording this podcast. I think we're finally going to get down to business here. I think we're going to combine Chig Chat and our main discussion, aren't we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Okay.
Sure.
It's Chig Chat. Yeah, that's a fact. It's Chig Chat. Where the cheese at?
Womp womp. All right. So tonight we're talking about Christian Slater movies, and we forgot about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves from 1991.
No, I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he played.
he was
Will Scarlet.
He was in a.
Why do I know so much about Christian?
I know, you're killing me, man. He was in Star Trek 6 too, The Undiscovered Country. I didn't remember that. He was the Excelsior Communications Officer way back in 1991. But
okay.
I stand by Heathers, and I shame you.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find Heathers. Heathers. Where's Heathers? What the hell is Heathers? I can't even find it on the list.
This isn't what you told me you were talking about.
No, this really isn't. Oh, there it is. 1989. Holy crap.
He is good in Young Guns, too.
Winona Ryder's in that. Yeah, I'd watch that. All right. Back with shoes.
I remember it being good. I don't know.
It's a great movie.
All right, I'll put it on the list. No. Tonight, I'm normally happy. I don't complain about Frontier too often, but I'm actually thinking about the whole delay thing again. I've decided that I am more upset than I was. So I'm going to just put a little bit of salt out there. And I know that somebody popped one there. Nice.
Yeah.
After going back and looking at the timeline of the release stuff and everything else, and then I just don't buy that, this was a late decision, and because it was of the new COVID lockdowns and everything else, they knew that this was going to be delayed before they open up the pre-sales. And I just find that dishonest on their part, because if I'd have known it was going to be delayed another, 4 months or so, and they were going to do what they were going to do to consoles, I probably would have waited to prepay to still see if I was still playing the game in April. I mean, I assume I'm going to. I'm on a podcast talking about it. I play the game every single day, but it still just seemed, it made it sound, and they were even saying still it's early 2021, it's going to be out, the whole thing that we were told that, when it would be. But then the fact that they didn't have pre-sales for console, that's the main clue to me that they knew that at least consoles are going to be delayed until the past well past April at the time that they were doing pre-sales for PC. And I'm actually going to go as far as I'm one of those customers that I've bought, and I have 4 copies of this game. One of them's a free Epic copy, but I've got a copy on the Xbox, one for me and one for my daughter, plus the Epic account. I've bought the game for, I don't know, 4 or 5 other people. I've gifted it. I've bought, I don't know how much on ARCs. I've said in the past how I have no problem, buying ARCs, because I want to support this game and everything else. I'm going to go on just a little bit of a boycott. I'm not buying ARCs for a while. I'm not giving any more money to this game right now for a while as my own kind of silent, talk with your wallet kind of thing. And I'm just going to boycott that side of it and just keep playing the game I like and doing the podcast. I actually considered taking a break from the podcast because I was just, I when I boycott something, I tend to really boycott it. But I'm actually to the point where I just felt that they were just dishonest in the way that they handled it. If they would have been up front sooner, it's a different story. But to come out and then, blame, the new lockdowns for COVID, the stronger lockdowns that they had to switch to, I fully understand that, there's difficulties for everybody and everybody's been battling this stuff. But to use that as the excuse when, that may be the excuse, but they knew that before they did their pre-sales. And that's the salt I've got. And I'm just not happy with Frontier. Normally I'm a white knight and I'm not right now.
So mainly it sounds, if I could try to boil it down a little bit, your main focus is regarding the pre-sale. You think it was dishonest to go about the pre-sale the way they did. And
yes.
You think they knew back before that?
They absolutely.
Okay.
I have no doubt in my mind. I could go into, my
but to play devil's
film type breakdown of why I think that so many coups point to they already knew that I don't want to do that. I'm just doing a little personal boycott of giving them any extra money until at least Odyssey's out on console. And I don't even play on console. I have a copy, but I don't play it. But I'm not spending ARCs until it's at least out on console. And who knows if I'll still be playing, that's, almost a year from now.
Mm-hmm. Did you pre-order on PC?
Yep. I did the night that it came up. I'm like, bam, yep, I'm in. Because, early next year, they're, talking about all the good stuff. That was during the Video Game Awards or whatever. What was that event? It was the
Video Game Awards.
VGA's, Video Game Awards. Yeah. And that night that they did that, they had that all planned out, and they definitely knew that the delay was, that they were already going to delay it. I have no doubt.
Okay, so do you remember when the fleet carrier betas were happening?
Yes.
There was, the first set of those were PC only.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I think, did they do a console one later, or did consoles ever have a beta?
Yeah, they got into the second round of betas.
They got into the second round of betas.
Yep.
I think, and I think this is perfectly fair, since everybody else is speculating about things that they don't really know, and we're just sort of we're presuming some guilt because of the way we're interpreting the order of some things that happened and some things that were said and some dates and stuff like that. I think it's also a reasonable interpretation to say that it is legit that the console development cycle is different, not because of anything to do with Cyberpunk or any of that, but because it literally is different, and you have to go through like an app approval process style system to push something out. That, combined with the fact that the PC player base is much bigger, makes focus go there, at least on the at least on the front part of development. Doesn't that seem reasonable?
Yes, and I know that's a fact, because I know other games that have had console and PC, where they've just gotten out of consoles because of the hassles of the validation process and everything else. Yes.
So it's like every time they do a hot fix, they have to go through that validation process. So it, potentially could slow things down a lot. So I can see a scenario where Frontier doesn't necessarily know that these delays are going to happen, or maybe they're on the edge of it, but they're trying. They're trying because they announced not specific dates, but date ranges, and they're trying desperately to keep up with that. And then they think, maybe we're going to do this alpha thing, because the pre-sale was really tied to this alpha announcement. That's kind of what was being pre-sold. And that is probably always only going to happen on PC because of various reasons, maybe, but mostly because of that development cycle thing. We're doing some testing that the consoles don't do because it's easier to push hot fixes out here. So it makes kind of more financial and work hours wise sense. So, maybe the pre-sale being only available for PC proves nothing about what they knew about delays and when. That's my argument.
I once again, I'll go against that because they still were advertising it as early, release in early 2021. They were sticking to that, which then people assume is the first quarter or not, but that's semantics at that point. But honestly, now they're saying that this alpha that you prepaid for is going to be launching at some point in April. So we might get the game maybe in May. I mean, you're talking middle of 2021 at that point. And yes, I know it's kind of splitting hairs, but they knew that was coming. If this was the first delay, I'd be fine, but it wasn't.
But I don't think that proves that they knew anything. If anything, it is totally explainable by additional lockdowns happening and things. We're on the edge of something. It's not like this is finished and now we're just waiting to get the marketing materials together to release it. I mean, this is clearly still in development. And when something, I think it could easily have gone down just like they said. They thought it was going to be ready at this time and more delays popped in. Some of the delays come from just,
you'd agree then, though, for sure, even with your reasoning, though, that they knew that the console was going to come out after PC.
I think they knew that console wasn't going to have an alpha and possibly wasn't going to have a beta or whatever. I don't know anything about beta because they haven't said anything about beta. I think there was always a plan for PC to be doing some testing in the form of alpha. And with the lockdowns, what they do is they push everything back a little, but they say, okay, well, let's do the release on PC. We'll be chewing through, they said on stream today, not just bugs, but possible balance changes and stuff. They're adding a bunch of stuff to the game that is totally and completely new, and they'll have an opportunity to make faster, lighter moves without going through those approval processes every time they change something to get the balance right. I think this is totally explainable by the PC crowd is doing some more additional beta testing before it gets to console.
But they knew that the console was going to release later than PC at the time that they were doing the pre-sales. That was already a given.
I don't think it necessarily was. I'm saying they weren't going to do an alpha, which means the PC could have bought into an alpha release, but that is not the official release. It's possible they were still planning to do the main release altogether at that time. And the circumstances, I think, are being strongly discounted because of the ire that everybody feels about consoles being shafted for like BGS reasons and stuff like that, right? Because the fact that like PC will be in there playing in the official game and we don't have an answer yet about what that means for the first footfall tags and for BGS and for factions who now won't be able to, for that amount of time, if console players won't be able to participate in that, and there are factions that are primarily on one console or another. That is a thing that still needs to be answered and that we still don't have an answer for even today. But it also hasn't released yet, so we don't need an answer today. We don't need an answer until this game is up on a live server. And I know we want one. But and I think there's a lot. This is what I
But you've avoided the question twice now where I've asked you.
Okay.
Did they know that the console was going to release after PC at the time of that they put up the
I'm
PC
speculating
pre-sale?
just like everybody else is.
I know.
I'm speculating that no, they did not know at that time of pre-sale that the console, that the live server release would be not console and PC at the same time. I think that they did not necessarily know that. I don't know for sure that you're wrong.
Well, why wouldn't they have had a console pre-sale at the same time then, though?
Maybe maybe it's harder to set up. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's a different process.
Or before release.
My answer to that though is that the pre-sale was about the alpha.
Why do you say that? Alpha was just a bonus for pre-purchasing.
Right.
That was like a little spiff that they were adding, saying that
not
was
necessary.
That was the point of the pre-sale. Pre-sale is to get money on the books, in whatever fiscal quarter you wanted it. That's the point of a pre-sale. And then you add benefits to that to entice people to get that money into your coffers. So the alpha really isn't, in my opinion, the reason that console would be released different than PC.
Well, I don't think it would be released different, but that's why they would put up some pre-sales. Sorry, you go ahead. You butt in.
No, I think I'm pretty much on, I suppose, your side. I'm just different when it comes to stuff like this. If it's anything, it's Chig has skin in the game. He pre-ordered a game. I personally never pre-order games. I don't.
This is the first time I've ever pre-ordered a game. First time
right, and
ever.
that's why. And I'm willing to bet it's part of the reason why you're so passionately, disappointed and upset, because you got skin in the game. I completely understand that. I
bought it too, by the way.
Oh well, never mind.
Yeah, I bought the big one with the alpha because I wanted to play the alpha, right? And because I wanted to support. And I definitely I don't want to make it sound like I don't hear your message.
Yeah, but see, I would not have pre-purchased had I known that what they were doing to the console players and the fact that they were delaying it so much longer than we had been led to believe it would be delayed. It's going to be delayed a little bit. People were thinking it might even come out in January, and then all of a sudden, okay, maybe April. Now we're looking May-ish, and I don't care. I'm playing the game now, and I have fun with it. It's the sandbox I play in. I get to freaking be an astronaut basically, every night of the week and escape the crap that's happening, on good old Earth here. We get to go up into space and actually fly around the Milky Way galaxy. It's freaking awesome. I just think that the way that they went about this just stinks. It just feels dishonest to me. They wanted that money in their coffers.
I don't get that vibe at all. They give me very science nerd vibes, not financial genius vibes.
Well, there's definitely a big financial aspect to any company this size.
Yes.
Dubs, do you have any opinion you want to weigh in here? I know I often have to ask because you're not going to butt in on your own.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have an opinion. I mean, I pre-ordered the game and I want it sooner than later, and I want to play the alpha.
Right.
But
see, I won't even play the alpha.
Speculations. Like, I don't know enough information to accuse them of anything at this point. But it would be nice. I don't know. I don't know what they did know or didn't know. And either way, I'm still going to play the game when it releases.
Yeah, ultimately,
I'm not going to be happy about them delaying it, but I mean, what can I do about it?
Ultimately, what does it help? You know what I mean? So you caught them in a lie. Yeah,
I mean, I'm with
they
Chig.
shan't lose any sleep. Not to take the piss out of Chig's. He's passionate about it, and I get it, but it's I don't know that it helps anybody, including
I
himself.
would have pre-ordered it if I had known.
You wouldn't have?
Yeah, I would not have pre-ordered it if I had known that it was going to be this much longer. And it's entirely possible that Chig is right, that they may or may not have been a slightly dishonest. That way they could rack up some money. Because you got to think they have to please their fucking investors.
Shareholders, yeah.
Shareholders have to be happy, or else you have issues. And what better way to make the shareholders happy than be like, hey, look at all this fucking money we just got.
I wonder how much money they actually made. And like I say, I piss out Chig or your argument for it. I don't know. I used to play Destiny, and that game was full of a player base that questioned the developers so much that it chased off its own player base. People complaining about it a lot. So I oftentimes when the salt starts flying, I just kind of duck my head down. But your argument's valid, but it's all based on no
speculation.
Speculation, no facts.
Yes. No. What I will say is I'm not trying to change anybody's mind or trying to get anybody to quit the game or anything else. I just wanted it known that I'm not happy about it. And if you're, everybody else is happy, well, I know a lot of people are upset, but I, as I said, I'm still playing the game. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not giving them any money for a while just because I do just have a bad taste in my mouth as to the way that they did this. Once again, it's just a matter of, some transparency with us. If they'd had let this console, PC divide thing be known sooner, even just before the pre-sales, just so that we'd have had that information to make a decision on our own, I'd be fine.
And by the way, that's absolutely fair to say, I'm not spending any money on ARCs. I could possibly spend any more money since I already own everything. So I can't take up your cause. So I'll have to.
You've picked exactly the right way to protest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Give them hell
with your wallet.
I mean, ironically, I am the PS4 person in this group, and I'm the one who's being punished indirectly the most. I'm not bothered by it. It would lead us down this track of more problems in the industry, and we'd be sitting here for another 4 hours. So I just won't get into it. I'll just say, get your asses to work. We love you mostly, and we want that shit.
Yeah, but see, I find it, once again, I hate to keep sounding so negative, but we're living in this world where, crossplay is becoming more and more common, and we've all been hoping that crossplay is going to be coming to Elite Dangerous sooner rather than later. And then all of a sudden, okay, Odyssey's coming out. Not only are you not getting crossplay, we're releasing the game, 6 months apart on the two platforms. It just, I don't know. It was very, very, very disappointing.
It's disappointing, but it's also, hey, I don't know shit about what it takes for that to become a reality. It used to be Sony's issue. Now, as I understand it, it's not that anymore. So, for all I know, it's a really complicated server thing on their side. Either way, I mean, there is one more thing, but you're not going to want to hear it. Star Citizen's out there. Everspace 2 just came out. The market is spreading a little thinner every day, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and you're not going to like to hear this one, I wish this game almost wasn't on console, or they were separate galaxies, just for the simple fact this just makes things so bizarre, because right now we share the same galaxy, but we don't,
and we can't ever see each other.
Yeah, and clearly we're slowing down the progress of everything else. I get that, and it does suck because.
And console people don't say I'm like my preference would be that console works with PC and everything we're all one big happy galaxy. I'm not saying I don't think a console should have the game. I just think that it's messed up that they keep trying to, plow both these fields and
well, I think they entrenched themselves too deep in the fact that they've already have these sort of separated galaxies that it would be difficult to go back and do a crossplay venture,
right?
Or else why wouldn't they have done it by now?
I think there's some underlying code things that are the main issue. Yeah.
And at the
if
end of
if No Man's Sky can do it, I don't see why they can't. But I don't know anything, so they must know something I don't.
I know, right? No Man's Sky can do it, but I don't know. The argument, when you defend the stuff is you don't know how hard it is to do this, and you don't know.
Right.
I'm not saying you. People say, you don't understand how hard this is, but they've created a game that's the entire fucking galaxy. If you can pull off something like that, you can't just get this stuff to work together. From a consumer standpoint, I'm like, I don't care if it's hard.
Well,
you said you're going to do it, so do it.
I would use that argument of, hey, they created an entire galaxy as part of the problem. They come up with like, hey, we got to have settlements. We're going to have all this. Okay, but you have to add that to an entire galaxy. Maybe they just didn't think how long it was going to take. I haven't the slightest idea.
I still wish that Odyssey would have been a separate game that linked to this game instead of tacking it onto this game.
Oh no, that would have been terrible. Oh, I super disagree.
Like CQC?
No, just it was a first person player based in this universe, but yet you could, go from being on foot to your ships, and you could play both games together, but it was two separate games.
Yeah, I might also be with tracks on that one.
I don't know if maybe I don't understand. So how would we be able to do the combined arms thing? That seems to be the major promise here.
Yeah, because you could play them together.
Okay.
But you could.
Well, then in what sense would it be different than what we had?
You could just own Odyssey, and you didn't fly spaceships. But if you wanted to fly spaceships, you had to own Elite Dangerous.
Oh, well, that
you'd have the two, and you could choose to do one or the other, or you could be doing both.
That I'm actually interested in seeing, because I'm very interested in seeing who is going to do a no ship run.
Ship run, yeah. Well, okay, but in what way would that be different code wise? That what would be the point of having them be separate things if you could still persist in the same universe together and see each other?
You got me.
Okay. I want to explain, I think, my position a little bit. I am upset that this is happening this way. I think a lot of the anger is unfortunately directed. And I'm not trying to, I want to try to say this, I don't want to say
names.
That your opinion is wrong or something. No, I don't want to say names. I was really set off by a lot of what I was hearing from content creators and stuff like that really kind of not personal attacks on Frontier, but really being like, this language, you broke a promise to us. And this kind of it's my perception is lies and laziness, when I believe it is still very, very explainable by circumstantial delays that are out of anyone's control, who I think the public and content creators aren't taking seriously enough and are discounting because they, maybe the lies narrative is more it gets you more excited, it gets you more worked up. And this combination of that and the idea that it's this combination of the COVID delays aren't a big enough deal. I think that should be taken way more seriously, and it's a huge deal, and it disrupts work like crazy. I work from home. I work from home on a normal day for years. And when the schools got closed down here, it disrupted my life like crazy. Nothing changed about what I was doing at work. And my productivity was cut in half or less because of what was going on with our family and what other things I had to deal with. So I think for one thing, that is being hugely glossed over and saying Frontier blaming this on COVID lockdowns. I think that is completely unfair, and it's heartless, and it is.
I'll do you one better.
But they've been.
I think it's bad for society to be thinking that way. I think it's bad for humanity.
Home since March, though.
Yeah, but you know what?
Still, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I work from home for years now, and the delays cut my productivity in half. Not because of me, but because of my family and because of everything else we were having to deal with. And I think it is completely fair for re-lockdowns going on in the UK to say, well, shoot, now we're not going to hit our target, even though we thought we were going to hit it last week. And like now that combined with the idea that it's speculative, and it's a speculative narrative that every little piece of it, well, if this happened and they knew it at this time, and then look at this piece of evidence, which I still think you can interpret either way, but if you interpreted them all the right way, you come up with this narrative where they knew all this stuff and they were lying to us, and now they have this easy excuse, so they're going to blame it on COVID. And I think every one of those things could be wrongly interpreted, and there's a lot of ire right now flying at Frontier and the developers at Frontier, who are just trying to have their families literally not die from COVID, okay? And they're getting like this thing that they're working on. They've been working on it like crazy. It's not like they don't want us to have it. And what are they hearing from people streaming on YouTube whining about it? Like, guys, the game's gonna come, and it's going to be later, but it still exists. I'm literally sitting in it right now. Earlier, we were marveling about crazy typo stars and shit like that. And to think, I'm thinking about these people who are working under now more difficult conditions, possibly being worried for their own health and safety in a way that they weren't maybe a few weeks ago.
Well, there's one other thing.
Then people are throwing anger at them about it. And that's what made me really upset. Okay. I mean, I guess, but picture, so interpret it the other way. If you go all the way down and interpret each little piece of evidence the other way, and I've explained why I think that's reasonable, then they didn't know, and they were just selling us an alpha, and consoles weren't going to get at, so they don't get the pre-order now because they were going to have to wait a little longer, and the alpha wasn't coming to them.
So you would have paid money for just an alpha?
I right now, sitting at who I am right now, I definitely would still have pre-ordered, even knowing this information now, because I want to be able to play it, and I want to be able to talk about it on the podcast, and I want to be able to like stream it to people in the community and stuff. So I still would, and I'm not going to tell anybody that they should feel differently than they feel, but yeah, I still would personally.
I would have bought it just to get the alpha.
Yeah, I would.
So anyway, that's my whole thing. I got to let you guys respond. So,
yeah, no, I wouldn't have bought it.
I mean, there's the one other thing that I tried to bring up is the mere fact that, for all we know, they had some sort of COVID, deal in their office. In my own personal life, I caught it 3 days before Thanksgiving. And it shut my entire life down. I had to be, sequestered in my own house, family not doing anything. So I completely understand.
So what do you, COVID deal meaning they have a plan for if a lockdown happens, here's what we're going to do?
No, well, look, it's spreading pretty rapidly everywhere. I mean, I hear about new cases just doing what I do. I'm just an exterminator, and I hear about people, someone new every day that I know, or that someone who's a customer of mine or something, that it's still going around, and their stories are all the same. Oh, I gotta go home for 2 weeks. I'm off of I'm forced on vacation or whatever the case is, or entire offices like my own office, because I contracted it from someone within my office. Entire office shut down 2 weeks. Period. So I understand if that is a reality that they have to deal with. I don't know, but it's a speculation just like everything else.
It's not to be discounted in my opinion, and I mostly, like, my anger is at some other, just some people that I've seen commentating on this, and really, I feel unfairly downplaying that aspect of it. Right. I think that's a separate issue from what you're talking about.
Correct.
As far as, did they sell this pre-order knowing they we're going to have a separated release. And I don't know. That can still be a totally separate issue. And I'm not complaining about you guys. I'm starting to feel like I got really mad at you guys just now, and I'm not.
I feel like we tag teamed on them, and I start to feel that way. But yes, we have,
Oh no, I knew when I opened the can of worms where I was going, but before the show, I said no. I'll bring up something that you guys will definitely disagree. You guys will definitely disagree with me on, so it'll make for a lively discussion. We knew that this is the direction this is going to go. So, if you guys are listening, we're not. There's no surprise. There's no hurt feelings here at all. So
exactly,
okay.
and the great thing is that. You're an understanding person. Of all the
fuck you, shut up.
Son of a beat. All the other people I've heard sort of gripe and moan very unforgivingly, and it was all about them, and it was very selfish, is what I took away from it. I'm not going to name any names either.
Yeah.
And it just turned me off, and all I could think was, if you don't like it, Everspace 2 Alpha's out there. Go on and get it.
And also, this game still works.
Yes, it's not.
It's still
busted.
gonna work.
And honestly, where I'm at is with people. If you're that upset about something, is go do something else. It's not worth it in your life to deal with it. Notice I'm not saying I'm overly upset. I'm going to do my own little personal boycott because of the way that I feel about it. I just think that they needed to communicate more openly about what they knew before they took money when they did. I just didn't like the way that went, and that's where I am. But if somebody's going to be upset, here's another thing. I don't care if people completely flip out, lose their fucking minds, and want to scream and shout. Fine, go play something else, but I'll also quit listening to what you're putting out, and I'll go do something else too. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's where I'm at too. Is it unfair to the developers that some speculation have these people, yelling at them over that? Well, yeah, I mean, people were, wishing bad things upon their families when a fleet carrier upkeep was too much. It's people get upset about different things, and I have no problem with that, and I like to hear that opinion. But if the opinion continues to push, and they want to push that opinion, and they're trying to convince you to take that opinion, that's where I'm like, fuck you, shut up, I don't want to hear you. But if somebody wants to bitch and I've got the ability to not listen to them, I won't listen to them. So
I think that everyone has the right to their opinion. Country with free speech. However, if you were an openly or overly negative person, I'm going to shut you out eventually, because I don't need it in my life. In a world with, all the extremism that we got going on, I just don't want to hear it.
Yep.
Sure.
So, and I thought you were perfectly reasonable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah. And I think that boycotting ARCs is perfect, because if any of your suspicions are true, then it's a financial argument you're having, right? Like,
yep.
The disconnect, the thing that you have a problem with, surely is on the side of not the coders but the boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you send that message that way. So yeah, I think, as I said, more power to you, and do that thing. I don't know if I would feel like ARCs boycott. There's nothing I feel like buying right now as far as ARCs are concerned anyway. So that probably won't be an issue, but
well, it is an entirely different issue. I wish they would with more cool paint jobs.
I guess if I'm thinking about it, my interpretation, my gut reaction when I first heard, there's more delays because of COVID. When I first saw that, my gut reaction was, and I guess I'm really soft, but my gut reaction was almost the opposite. My gut reaction was almost like, well, shoot, it was sort of like, well, let's buy takeout from the restaurant because those poor servers can't work for a while. You know what I mean? It was like, let's go buy some arcs and keep the whole machine running. And I don't know, I'm not saying that that's right. And I don't really know if there isn't some kind of disingenuous stuff going on here, but I think it's unfair to say that you totally know that this is like a malicious thing, or to use language like they lied, they broke
like
a
I
promise.
said,
I think
just left a bad
circumstances
taste
changed
in my mouth.
Yeah,
To me, there's enough circumstantial things that just I'm not. There's a huge difference between evidence and proof. I could never prove everything, but there's things that point in a certain direction. You see things pointing in a different direction. Once again, it's evidence.
I'm interpreting
there's no
them.
proof.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're interpreting things as evidence, but there's no proof of any wrongdoing. There's no proof that you don't have to prove right doing. I suppose that sounds weird, but it just doesn't pass the smell test with me, and that's where I'm at with it, and that's why I'm doing my minor little protest.
If this does anything, it should reinforce that people should stop pre-ordering games or essentially investing their money in things that don't technically exist yet.
Yeah.
I literally
I did pay for an alpha.
I said, I've never prepaid. I've bought deluxe editions to get some extra stuff, but I've never pre-ordered a game before, because especially in the digital age, why? I know I'm going to get a copy.
Right.
And this was the one time, because I play the game so much, and that trailer came out that night, with some gameplay footage, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it. And I did.
Hyped up.
And then all of a sudden, massive delay on top of it. Just, ugh.
Well, I paid extra for the alpha, and I want my damn alpha.
I was going to say, I did buy it, but I forgot that, oh yeah, this isn't on Mac. And then I had to ask for a refund.
Oh, so you bought the Odyssey assuming it would run on Mac?
Well, no, not assuming that because this computer that I just got for Christmas is so new to me I was so new to Steam that I was just buying stuff, and I realized crap. But they gave me a refund pretty quickly.
Well, it shows you a little warning, that
whatever.
You're running macOS right now. Anyway, whatever.
I'm stupid.
Okay. Well, anybody got any final thoughts? I think we've gone on around. I guess we've.
I didn't think we'd talk that long about something salty, but it is what it is. I kind of
worried we would.
It is what it is.
Hey man, that's good radio.
It's a good talk. It was a good talk. Yeah. All right. Well, what is there left to do? There's as ever, when concluding space, there is only cheese.
Cheese. Yes. Oh, are we at that point? Yes.
Unless somebody's got some other business, is there anything else that you think should be in the show besides cheese? Speak now.
I'm only 100 jumps away from comma. I'm almost home.
Wow.
That's exciting for me.
All right.
Yeah.
But not to anybody else.
Oh, one more thing Frontier needs to fix. Why do large rings not actually appear in game? It's in the system map, damn it. Why can't I find it?
Get on it, Art. I'm expecting that tomorrow morning in the answer sheet or whatever.
This system map told me that there is a fucking ring with an 82 light second fucking width, and I don't see it.
Yeah, you want to do a fun episode next week? We could do our pet peeve episode and just go through everything, every little pet peeve we have, if we really want people to get annoyed with us being. This is downers.
The new Loose Screws protest.
Yeah,
this is how we're protesting the delay.
Bitch hour. No, we won't do that. Maybe we'll instead of
a pet peeve. I think is a valid thing, and it's mostly harmless. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Lots of little things, but you could do that you could make a twist on that though, and say quality of life improvements. I want. It sounds better rather than
right.
Yeah, good spin.
You spin it. Hey, this is what
I made folders for all my bookmarks.
Yeah,
that old gem.
that old argument. But there's a ton of little things. But let's not get into that right now.
Oh, yeah.
We'll end up with
No.
a 4-hour episode or something if we start
Yeah.
going down that road. So
We
let's
will.
go cheese of the week. I'll go to my good old spreadsheet. I'm actually expanding the spreadsheet, not just to show the cheese per episode. I now have all of the episodes in a spreadsheet with the title, date put out, how long it was, who was on the show. So I can start giving some statistics about the show here eventually.
Cool.
But tonight's cheese is Asiago.
Oh,
I'm sure
that's a
I
great
have
one.
not seen that. It is a great cheese. It's a cow's milk cheese from Italy, a good Italian cheese. It's considered like a Swiss type cheese, but I don't know. The age stuff is almost more like a Parmesan to me. It gets quite a bit sharper and
It's dry.
yeah, it's drier. I mean, I know like you can get it younger where it's still a little bit creamier, but it's still the flavor to me is more, I don't know, more like a Parmesan type cheese. But I don't know. Eat some Asiago. It's good on a burger. It's good on a salad. It's good in your belly.
It's good as a wedge.
Yeah, stay cheesy, everybody, and I'll put the salt away. Oh, wait.
Salty cheese.
Do you know the most popular cheese in Great Britain? British cheese. There we go.
That's terrible.
It's so bad.
Magnificent performance.
It's a stretch.
Jesus Christ.
I love this garbage.
It's
Okay,
such
well,
garbage.
this is my favorite stuff. It really is. Anyway, that's why Futurama was my favorite cartoon, because the bad pun is the greatest joke humanity's ever created. Can't be topped. Anyway, that's going to do it for Loose Screws tonight. Thank you, Chig, Dubs, Diva Looter, for joining me. I'm Commander Jay on Tracks. You can find us at loosescrewsed.com, at least for now. Who knows what's going on with that? Join our Discord. It's very fun. Well, I don't know. The discussion came up. The server, why is it there? Anyway.
Let me give one last shout out.
Yeah?
A shout out to Teflon, because he's DMing me, you, Dubs, Hate. Is that everybody? Data.
Yep.
Data's joining the group. We'll probably be streaming that somewhere. We're playing D&D Saturday night. Loose Screws has a little group going.
I don't get invited
I think that's
to
usually.
this.
There's a wait list.
Usually
I think you're
Chig's
on the wait
stream.
list. Yeah, I'll stream that Saturday night if anybody's looking for it on Chig's channel, whatever the hell that is. You can probably find it somewhere. I have
Search
no
for
idea.
Chig on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find it. We'll post it in video media links.
Yeah. So we're gonna play some D&D Saturday. Thanks, Stefan.
Thanks, Tef. You're the man. Don't kill us, or do, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
probably
so
me
that's
for
it.
sure. All right, bye.
Find us at loosescrewsed.com. There is a merch store there where you can buy mugs and sweatshirts and stuff with loose screws on them, and that's very fun. Have fun out there exploring, and fly loose and fly screwy. Good night, good morning, good evening. That's it. I gotta stop it. Jeez.
What a rambling outro.
What are you gonna do? You hired the wrong guy if you wanted this to be professional.